Okay, we'd like to welcome you back to our current event and weekly Bible study for September 5th, 2010. And we're going to shift gears here and go into some more updates on the whole Gulf oil disaster. This first article is entitled Gulf Loop Current Stalls from the BP oil disaster. Global consequences if current fails to reorganize. And it has a thing on here. July 28th was the day the loop current actually stalled. This has actually happened quite a while ago, even over a month ago. This is from Pure Energy System News, Sterling D. Allen. It's from August 28th. It says, this could be the most significant man-caused earth changes thus far in my lifetime, the man writing this article. This morning, Leslie Pastor informed New Energy Congress of a report it's called Your Own World USA, that as of July 28th, oceanographic satellite data now shows that the loop current in the Gulf in Mexico has stalled as a consequence of the BP oil spill disaster. This, according to Dr. Gunligi Zangari, an Italian theoretical physicist and major complex and chaotic systems analyst at the Frescati National Laboratories in Italy. He further notes that the efforts of this stall have begun to spread to the Gulf Stream. This is because the loop current is a crucial element of the Gulf Stream itself, and why it is commonly referred to as the main engine of that stream. The concern now is whether or not the natural processes can reestablish the stalled loop current. If not, we could begin to see global crop failures as early as 2011. Images of the Day After Tomorrow flashed in my head. I guess a movie named Day After Tomorrow. The disruption of major ocean currents is no small thing. The climate ramifications are massive and worldwide. The Gulf Loop is the current that loops up to the right of the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, then drops down to the left of Florida, where it then passes below Florida into the Atlantic, where it contributes then to the Gulf Stream, which passes up the east coast of the United States and Canada and then actually gets over into Europe. The Gulf Stream is what keeps the east coast of the U.S. as well as Britain and Europe more temperate, compared to what they would be without this warm current passing by. After reading through this article, seeing its scientific backing, and discussion of the ramifications, I went up to Google to see if this is getting mainstream press attention. A Google News search for loop current stalled came up nada, nothing. Now, there's stuff up there now because this has, been, some days that this has happened. But going further, it says, how could this be? I wondered, this is huge, and it's something that mainstream science and the mainstream press could easily verify and report on. I then placed a call to Paul Noel, who seems to always be up on things like this. I caught him in the middle of a family vacation event at a museum, so I was only able to speak with him a couple of minutes. But he said that he noticed that the current had stalled himself. He said, quote, I check the loop current periodically, he said. He also said that a new phenomenon had cropped up on the beaches, something about a bathtub ring of oil residue. I didn't catch how this was new, but then he had to go. So apparently, this is a breaking development that will most likely take a while to sink in, just as the initial BP ring of fire and sinking oil took a while for people to realize its significance and impact. The people still living near the Gulf may yet be in denial as to the impact of the toxic fumes coming off the slick, poisoning their rain and their crops and groundwater. Now the other shoe drops. The loop current stalls, and now the globe will feel the impact. The mechanism by which the oil slick could lead to something like this could have to do with the changed viscosity of the water penetrated with the oil to great depths due to the corrosive dispersant. And it could have to do with the darkened water attracting more solar heat, increasing its temperature as well. Here's the rest of the story from Your Own World USA, and you can click on that. I'm not going to go any further into that, but I couldn't find anything that refuted the story either. I did several different keyword searches, and it seems to be very authentic. So that's something to kind of bear in mind and think about.